When you see a salary range like $120,000 to $160,000, what do you see? If you ask too low, you're leaving thousands of dollars on the table over the lifetime of your career. If you ask too high without evidence, you risk losing your credibility before the first interview ends. Pay transparency has changed the game, but only for those who know how to read the rules. Today, we aren't just negotiating. We're using data to prove our position inside the band. Welcome to the masterclass on using public salary bands to secure the compensation you deserve. This is the strategic science of negotiating within public salary bands. The first thing you must understand is that a public band is not a promise, it is a range. Harvard research shows that transparency reduces ambiguity, but it doesn't automate your placement. Your job is to provide the objective criteria that justifies where you sit inside that range. Companies don't pay the maximum just because it's listed. They pay for specific, proven value. To reach the upper part of the range, you need more than just a request. You need a data-backed case. Criteria determine placement. This is the bedrock of strategic negotiation. Harvard's program on negotiation notes that while transparency reduces information asymmetry, it doesn't eliminate the need for preparation. In fact, HBS research suggests transparency actually changes the bargaining dynamics between employer and employee. It forces a shift toward objective criteria, making the why behind the number more important than the number itself. Transparency creates a level playing field, allowing you to anchor your request in market reality rather than guessing. The first number mentioned sets the anchor for the entire negotiation. Harvard research suggests that transparency allows you to set a proactive, market-backed anchor. Use the top of the band as your anchor point, but justify it with your specific evidence. This brings us to the wide range trap. You'll often see ranges that are incredibly broad. Cornell ILR research indicates that these wide ranges can create massive uncertainty for applicants. Is the top end even achievable, or is it a theoretical maximum for a level you aren't being hired for? Most wide bands are actually shadow levels, internal grades that determine where your specific role stops. Companies often pack 2 or 3 distinct experience levels into a single public posting to maximize flexibility. This means a single senior manager title could actually cover 3 different internal pay grades. Understanding these shadow levels is the key to unlocking the top 10% of any posted range. To decode this, we look at how companies think. Mercer refers to this as job architecture. Your placement isn't random. It's a mix of your skills, market benchmarks, and internal equity. McKinsey research notes that inconsistency in pay practices can create massive retention pressure for companies. Bain research shows that systematic job categorization is the bedrock of most corporate compensation structures. Companies must balance what the outside market is paying with what they already pay their existing top performers. Recruiters are measured on cost to hire and time to fill. McKinsey research shows that transparency creates pressure to close roles quickly with qualified talent. Position yourself as the solution to their time-to-fill problem to unlock higher pay. The minimum is for those who meet the core requirements, but are still growing into the specific scope. The midpoint is the market average. You are fully qualified and ready to perform from day one. The maximum is reserved for exceptional fits or rare expertise that exceeds the standard expectations. Knowing this, you must ask the single most important question in the entire process. Ask, can you help me understand what differentiates a candidate at the midpoint from one at the top of the range? This forces them to reveal the rules. Once you know the rules, you can prove you meet them. Remember, criteria determine placement. Without criteria, it's just a wish. With them, it's a business case. By defining the criteria, the employer has given you the rubric for your own success. Use it. Internal compensation teams often use a metric called the compa ratio. A compa ratio of 1.0 means you are exactly at the midpoint of the range. Negotiating to the upper part of the range means targeting a compa ratio of 1.1 or higher. When you talk compa ratio, you signal to HR that you speak their language. You aren't guessing, you're calculating. Now, build your evidence pillars. This is where evidence beats entitlement. First, role scope. Are you performing at a level that actually fits the next seniority bracket? Second, market data. Use independent benchmarks to show what the market is paying for your specific expertise. Third, measurable impact. How much revenue have you saved or generated? Use specific, hard numbers. Fourth, scarce skills. Do you possess a combination of skills that is exceptionally hard to find in the current market? Your goal is to present a business case where the ROI of hiring you justifies the top-end salary. Don't just use one source. Aggregate data from multiple benchmarks to create a robust market average. Include peer company data and specific industry trends that show high demand for your role. We must also think in terms of total rewards. Negotiation isn't just about the base number. In some companies, the total package can be significantly higher if you leverage bonuses or stock options. If the salary band is truly non-negotiable, shift your focus to equity or sign-on bonuses. Secondary benefits like learning budgets and flexible work can add tens of thousands in hidden value. Equity is often more negotiable than base salary because it aligns your incentives with the company's growth. Clarify the vesting schedule. A standard 4-year vest with a 1-year cliff is typical. Negotiating an earlier vest or a sign-on grant can significantly boost your total compensation. Let's walk through the exact script. Step 1 is always gratitude. Thank you so much for the offer. Step 2, reference the data clearly. I noticed the posted salary range for this role is between X and Y. Step 3, inquire about the process. Could you clarify how placement is determined within that band? Step 4, state your position firmly. Based on my specialized skills in Zed, I believe my profile aligns closer to the upper part of the range. Step 5, ask for flexibility. Is there flexibility to move the base salary closer to that upper threshold? If they indicate the base is fixed, pivot immediately to the package options we discussed earlier. What if they say no? McKinsey research suggests internal equity often makes base salary very rigid. If the base is fixed, don't stop there. You must negotiate the entire package, not only the base salary. Think about signing bonuses, equity, remote flexibility, or a guaranteed performance review in 6 months. A guaranteed review in 6 months is a powerful compromise. It proves you're willing to bet on your own performance. Once you've proven your value inside the organization, the internal equity argument becomes your leverage for a raise. Avoid these critical mistakes. First, asking for the maximum with no evidence. It feels like entitlement. Second, ignoring the seniority level. If you are a junior candidate, the top of a senior band is out of reach. Third, confusing base salary with total compensation. Know which number you are actually discussing. Fourth, using an adversarial tone. This is a collaborative problem-solving exercise, not a battle. The biggest mistake is simply remaining silent. Transparency is an invitation to have an adult conversation about value. To win your next negotiation, follow this framework. Confirm the range and clarify the criteria before you talk numbers. Identify where you belong, build your evidence pillars, and ask for the rules. If base salary is constrained, expand your horizon to the total package. We've built this framework on the findings from Harvard, McKinsey, Bain, and Cornell. Transparency works when it is tied to clear job architecture and systematic evidence. Salary bands are a tool for clarity. Use that clarity to advocate for the value you bring to the table. In the era of transparency, evidence is your greatest leverage. Manage it with precision. If you found this strategy helpful, comment "band" below for our full negotiation guide. Watch our next video for the downloadable script you can use in your next salary discussion. Know your worth, prove your value, and always negotiate with precision.